Welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about people pleasing and basically my thoughts about it. So people pleasing is essentially someone trying to please others, hence people pleasing. It's very self-explanatory, but it's oftentimes at the expense of your own benefits or what you need or want in the situation, and basically putting someone else above yourself just to make them happy, even if it makes you unhappy. I'm still trying to record, but also talk at my own pace. Anyway, my experience with people pleasing is that even if you try to make other people happy, it really doesn't matter other than whether you're making yourself happy. I mean, at one aspect, it is good to be caring and thoughtful for others, but if it's at the expense of your own self, then it's really not worth it. And even if you did try to make everyone happy, there's always still going to be someone that's unhappy, dissatisfied with what you did or who you are, things like that. I find it interesting how some people are able to just talk about something and continue talking about it straight without getting distracted or anything like that. But I guess that is the process of doing YouTube or public speak. It's not really public speaking, and it's not exactly extemporaneous. It's more like improv. But anyway, people pleasing. Something that helps is, other than not caring what other people think, but also setting boundaries. As Gen Z and just TikTok and social media, there's a lot of videos about setting boundaries and saying no and putting yourself first. But I don't know. Something I do to set boundaries or just doing things in my best interest is basically just not just saying no, but this is a common phrase that I say, which is I'm unavailable. And I love saying that phrase because it really is straightforward. And other than saying I'm unavailable, I would say no or no thanks or whatever. Not whatever, but I would just say those things to basically to say that I'm not going to do it or whatever it is. I used to be more like, oh, I'm going to help you, and to care. I still care about people. It's just I'm not going to care to the point where I'm not doing things in my best interest. Such as if I'm trying to get something done and I have a limited amount of time, I'm not going to help you before I help myself. And that is important to do and to keep in mind. Another thing about people pleasing is that I think some people, they don't realize until a very long time that they shouldn't have done something for someone else and that they should have put themselves first. Because I think it's like taught in society, well, especially for women, to put other people above their own, with this whole quote on like women are the nurturer and we're supposed to be all caring and loving and motherly or whatever. But even like those, well, not being caring is not necessarily is being caring is not a feminine trait. It should just be a trait for all people, men and women. But I would say that women are typically more caring and more thoughtful and wanting to maintain the peace and such. But sometimes sometimes the way to keep the peace is to disrupt the peace. And yep, this is so, I'm trying to not be awkward, but at the same time, I'm trying to just speak what I'm thinking about. I probably should have got an outline, but I'm trying to not be so not what am I trying to do? It's just that if I have a full list of what I want to say, then I'll just keep talking and looking at my notes that I do not have, but I'm just setting it as an example. And I really wanted to just practice just speaking from my thoughts. Even though I'm taking a while to process what I want to say, I'm still getting there, but it's definitely a process, just like anything else. Yeah. Continue on to stop trying to please everyone, because they're still not going to fully accept, like everyone's still not going to agree with you. And it's pretty obvious that no matter what you do, people are still going to disagree, because people have their own values, they have their own beliefs, religion, culture, things like that. And that really sets people apart. Even though society and humanity is about being together and being a group, it's impossible for everyone to be completely aligned, because that's just how everything is. There's always going to be like a good and bad, a right and wrong. And I think the purpose of that is to maintain balance. Of course, it's best to be on the good side, but I feel, well, from my philosophy class, it was something like having bad is necessary, because it makes you more appreciative and makes you more knowledgeable of the good that you do have, considering that there is bad, and just balances out. But anyway, what I've noticed in life is that people typically try to people please, well, to please their family, their friends, coworkers, pretty much anyone. But I feel like I feel like at like early ages of your life, you may, oh my god, you may try to people please your family, like your parents, probably your older siblings if you have older siblings. And then after that, once you really don't care that much about about what your parents have to say, then you'll want to be more agreeable to the friends that you make and the things that they value or think about. And I don't know where I am at. I guess I'm at neither, because what I want and what I think is more important than what my family may think or what my friends may think, because I understand and I know the values that I have and what I want and need out of my life. And certain things, those are just unwavering. Just like anyone else, there's things about that person that no matter what, that's just what they want. That's just what they're going to do, whether they like it or don't like it. That's just how it's going to be. And I think a reason why some people may want you to be a people pleaser is a way to control you and to get something out of you, and for you to also not have control over yourself, or for them to take advantage of you, which is like an act of manipulation. I know people say that like a manipulation is bad, but people manipulate each other in like good or bad ways, but it would be bad to manipulate someone in a negative way. That could it's like I'm getting out of breath because I'm trying to speak, but I'm also trying to like pace myself, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, people manipulate each other, but it's best to not manipulate someone in a negative way to like do self-harm. But a good way to manipulate someone is when it's to benefit them and help them, such as when a parent tries to manipulate their child and be like, oh, you should eat your vegetables or whatever, and they'll have like an incentive or something like, oh, if you eat your vegetables you'll get a dessert or whatever the reward is after eating it. But that's still manipulation because you're still trying to get what you want, which is for them to eat their vegetables, and they end up basically doing what you wanted them to do. And people pleasing. Why is people pleasing a bad thing though? Isn't making someone else happy, isn't that the goal? For you to be happy and to make other people happy? Yes, it is. But people pleasing is more so of an extreme because you're doing too much. I hear that there's like a difference between being nice and being kind. But when I think about it, it's really just synonyms rather than them being different meanings. But basically, if you're too nice, if you don't set boundaries, if you're too giving, then it's not in your best interest because you're giving too much when you should be giving to yourself. And the less time that you have giving to yourself, how do I say this? If you give too much to people, that means you're spending less time on giving to yourself. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. And some way to stop people pleasing is to realize that this is your life and no one else's. They're not going to live with the decisions that you make typically, unless it's just directly impacting them. But other than that, the decisions that you make in your life is really only going to affect you, unless you have a positive change to someone else, or like a major negative change or something. But typically we don't even be, well, I know I don't even be thinking about other people like that. Like if I'm to look at the past in something that I did or experienced or something I went through, it's not really pertaining to other people or like their faults per se, but it's more so my actions, what I did, what I might have done differently and such. But it's important not to stay in the past and to move forward. And I think there's this quote or whatever in economics. It's like, don't cry over spilled milk, because you can't do anything about the spilled milk and you can't use it. You just have to throw it away, like mop it up or whatever, because it's in the past. So the best option would be to just pour you another glass instead of crying about it. And how do you stop people pleasing? Just like any bad habit, it's just one day at a time. And it's best to start today. Like whenever you're watching this video, it's better to start today. I know I have a habit of putting things off and not starting the same day that I said that I would. But I do realize that as the months have gone by this year, that I've gotten better at it and being productive. As I'm filming this video, it's pretty late, but I told myself that I needed to make a video and I need to be consistent. And even if I'm not starting at the time that I said that I would, I'd rather start at the same day that I said I was gonna start. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, I know that as I make more videos, the quality, the confidence, the self-assurance is all going to improve as the time progresses. And I don't know, I just find it interesting that life isn't not me trying to be all sentimental, like, yeah, this is all the knowledge that I have and let me shed some light on what I know, etc. But I think everyone has some type of knowledge. Well, not everyone, but most people have some type of knowledge or wisdom that they can give to someone. Even if it's not verbal, they can still show it through their actions, because actions speak louder than words. Anyway, back to our topic, because I want to talk a little bit more. People pleasing, and how does it start? I think it starts from, well, it depends on your culture, I would say, and like your family dynamic, because then you're probably taught to be a people pleaser, but it's up to you as you get older to realize that you shouldn't be, and you need to learn how to put yourself first and to not go into the extreme of putting others above yourself when you're gonna be in a disadvantage. Or okay, as one avenue or factor or whatever, it's like you should want better for other people and for other people to be on top, and basically that everyone can win and improve. You don't have to put other people down. However, also you still have to put yourself first, and basically you have to look out for yourself, because no one else is going to look out for you, and it's all up to you, no one else. I know it's very, like, when I think about that, it's very a bit dark and sad, but it's literally the truth. Like, no one's going to work and give the life that you want if you don't do it yourself. as as lazy as I am with a lot of things that I don't like doing. Like, I don't like doing chores, I don't like cleaning, I don't like grocery shopping, I don't like to do a lot of things. I don't even like to do homework and studying and stuff. And a lot of, even, yeah, and I really still don't, but somehow, yeah. So basically, put yourself first. This is so vague. um, don't be a people pleaser. In conclusion, put yourself first and realize that it is up to you to change and to do things in your best interest because no one else will. But also, it's not in a sad no one else will, but think of it as you're your main supporter, you're your main cheerleader, you're your main insert other word. And I find it cool that you're the, like, every person has their own like group of memories and thoughts and their own journey, and it's only you that knows your journey more than any other person. I mean, God knows your journey, but other than God, no other person, well, no person knows your journey or thing. So I don't know how that is important, but yeah. And if you watch this whole if you watch this whole video, I appreciate you, even though it's, I don't know, would this be a long video? We'll see compared to my upcoming videos that I make. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.